All right, so we're going deep on AI crypto today. Everyone wants to find the next big coin, right? The one that's going to be even bigger than what the giants like A16Zs are investing in. We've got all these news articles and market analyses, and we're going to dig through them, figure out what's driving this whole AI crypto explosion, and most importantly, which coins you should have your eye on. It's crazy to me that these decentralized AI platforms are actually giving these huge established funds a run for their money.
Yeah, and what's really wild is that AI crypto is already a $30 billion market. I mean, it's not just a fad, it's a serious force, and it's changing the way we think about AI and blockchain.
2025 is the year it really exploded, it seems like. And there's this DeepSeek R1 thing, this Chinese AI that's supposedly outperforming OpenAI and Meta, but it costs way less.
Yeah.
It's got to be huge, right?
It's a game changer. Think about it. If DeepSeek can really do what these big players are doing, but at a fraction of the cost, it means that suddenly smaller companies, maybe even individuals, could have access to these cutting-edge AI tools.
So it's not just about making AI better, it's about making it more accessible.
Exactly. DeepSeek's success could lead to just this explosion of AI innovation across all kinds of industries, healthcare, entertainment, everything, because suddenly the barrier to entry is so much lower, and because it's all tied to blockchain, we could see a whole wave of these decentralized, transparent AI applications.
Decentralized AI applications. That brings us to AI agents, right? I've been hearing that term everywhere lately. It feels like they're taking over crypto.
AI agents are really fascinating because they're changing the way we think about decision-making, especially in this decentralized world of crypto. They're like these autonomous actors that can analyze data, execute trades, even manage your investments.
So is this whole thing with A16Z a perfect example of that?
Absolutely. Well, they're called ElizaOS now. But yeah, this decentralized venture capital DAO originally called themselves I16Zs.
I bet the real A16s was not happy about that.
Yeah, it caused a bit of confusion.
Yeah.
Chris Dixon from A16, he actually handled it pretty well, called it permissionless innovation. But yeah, they definitely had to change their name.
To ElizaOS.
Right.
But they're still developing that open source framework for AI agents, which I think is pretty cool.
It is cool. It basically means anyone could potentially build and deploy their own AI agent. And that's the power of open source, right? It can really speed up innovation.
And the market seems to be responding. The whole AI agent category is worth almost $10 billion now. So this is not just some passing trend. It's a serious part of the crypto world.
Right. And for investors like you, it means there's this whole new world of opportunity. But as with anything in crypto, you've got to do your research and understand the risks.
Speaking of opportunities, let's look at some of these AI cryptos that people are talking about. We'll start with the 4 tokens highlighted in this article. 4 AI cryptos that will blow AI16Z out of the water. First up is this IDGen coin. It's being described as this wild, unfiltered AI agent. What's the deal with that?
Well, IDGen is very much connected to this degen culture you see in crypto. Degen stands for degenerate, basically. And it refers to this subculture of risk-taking investors. They love memes, they love pushing the boundaries, they're not afraid to gamble.
So not for the faint of heart, then. What's interesting is they actually got banned from X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, for being too wild.
Yeah, that ban actually seemed to help them, believe it or not. Their pre-sale went up by $1 million in just 24 hours after that ban. Like, the degen community saw it as a challenge.
It's amazing how powerful these online communities can be. But is IDGen all hype, or is there something real behind it?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. But even AI16Z, which is one of the most respected AI trading bots out there, they've recognized IDGen. And get this, IDGen is actually the first AI agent to be integrated with DeepSeek.
Wait, the same DeepSeek we were just talking about, the one that's shaking up the whole AI industry.
That's the one. So while IDGen definitely have that meme element going on, there's some serious tech behind it too. It's definitely a volatile project, no doubt. But its connection to DeepSeek and that passionate degen community could lead to some explosive growth.
And it's launching on February 27th. What's the prediction for that launch?
People are saying it could be a multi-$100 million debut. Some even think it could be the next billion-dollar AI token.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot to process. Let's move on to the next one then, AIXBT. This one seems a little less, degen than IDGen.
Yeah, definitely. AIXBT is all about analysis and prediction. Think of it like this. It's constantly watching over 400 top traders. It's analyzing trends, sentiment, technical patterns.
So it's not just reacting to the market, it's trying to predict what's going to happen next.
Exactly. It's like having a whole team of expert traders working for you, but it's all powered by AI.
That's powerful. Okay, what about ARC? What's their deal?
ARC is tackling one of the biggest issues in AI right now, the cost. Running these AI systems is expensive, which limits who can actually use them. ARC wants to change that.
So they're making AI cheaper.
Pretty much. They're building what they call an AI rig marketplace where people can rent and deploy AI tools whenever they need them. So instead of having to buy and maintain all this expensive infrastructure, you can just rent the computing power for your AI needs.
So it's like the Airbnb of AI. You rent the AI tools you need when you need them.
That's a good analogy. And their plans for the future are pretty impressive. Custom AI model training for finance and healthcare AI-driven DeFi tools. There's a lot of potential there.
Okay, last but not least, we have ChainGPT. What's their focus?
ChainGPT is all about bringing AI to the blockchain in a practical way. They're using advanced machine learning to automate things like smart contract audits and on-chain analysis.
So stuff that's actually useful for people using crypto.
Exactly. And they've got some serious backing from Binance, which is a pretty big deal in this space.
And their price doubled after their Binance debut. So people are noticing.
It's definitely a good sign. The market seems to like what they're doing.
So we've got IDGene, the wild one, AI16Z, the analytical one, ARC, making AI more affordable, and ChainGPT, the practical one. Quite the lineup. But even with all this potential, I know crypto can be incredibly volatile, especially with these meme coins.
Absolutely. This article, Meme Coin Bloodbath, 3 tokens down 50% in February 2025, is a good reminder that meme coins can crash just as fast as they can rise.
They talk about SPX 6900 Fart Coin, and of course, Eliza Hoyas, formerly known as AI16Z. They've all taken some pretty big hits recently.
It shows you that meme coins can generate a lot of hype, but they can lose value just as quickly.
So how do you navigate this whole meme coin madness? How do you know what's worth investing in?
Well, the article mentions that these 3 coins, even though they've dropped, they're showing some signs of a potential rebound based on technical analysis.
Technical analysis. For those of us who aren't expert traders, what does that even mean?
Basically, it's using charts and data to try to predict future price movements. You're looking for patterns and signals that tell you if a coin is likely to go up or down.
So it's not a guarantee, but it gives you some clues.
Exactly. It's just one tool that investors use to make decisions. And in this case, the technical indicators are suggesting that these meme coins might bounce back.
So there's still hope for those who got at the peak. But I guess the takeaway here is that no matter what, you have to do your research before investing in any crypto.
Couldn't agree more. Especially in a new and fast-moving market like AI crypto. The potential is huge, but the risks are very real. It's all about being cautious and not getting caught up in the hype.
Solid advice. And speaking of hype, there's this rising meme coin called Katsilla that I want to talk about before we wrap up this part. It's taking a different approach compared to AI16Z. So AI16Z, or Elizo, is all about using AI to make decisions.
Right.
Katsilla, on the other hand, is all about community power.
It's an interesting contrast. Katsilla is putting the community in the driver's seat. They want to give them a voice in how the project develops.
And it seems to be working. But we'll dive deeper into Katsilla and what it all means for the future of AI crypto in part 2 of this deep dive.
So this Katsilla thing, it's really interesting how they're trying to combine that whole meme culture with actual utility. Trying to build something that's more than just your typical pump and dump meme coin.
Yeah, it seems like they're actually trying to make something sustainable. And I know a lot of people are curious about how that's going to work.
Well, one way they're doing that is by really focusing on rewarding early adopters. Like their pre-sale is structured so that people who get in early get a massive discount on these Katsilla tokens before the official launch.
That's a good way to incentivize early adoption, build that community. But what can people actually do with these Katsilla tokens? What's the utility there?
They have this whole triple utility system. First, there's governance. So if you hold Katsilla tokens, you get to vote on decisions that affect the project. Then there are rewards for being active in the community, contributing to its growth. And then there's staking. So you can lock up your tokens and earn passive income.
Okay, so it's not just about holding and hoping the price goes up. You can actually use those tokens, be a part of the ecosystem. It's kind of wild that people are comparing them to AI16Z now.
Yeah, it's interesting because Katsilla is still so early in its development. There's a lot of potential there. And unlike some of these other meme coins, they seem to be really focused on building something that has real-world use cases.
So it's a bit of an underdog story.
Right.
With the added bonus of cute cat memes. But speaking of underdogs, let's talk about Eliza Ross again. Remember how we said they took a bit of a hit in the market? Well, there are signs that they might be bouncing back.
Yeah, the data's showing that the price is starting to stabilize, and there are signals that buyers are starting to outnumber sellers.
Like they're finding their footing again.
Exactly. And it's important to remember they're doing something pretty unique. Using these AI agents to make investment decisions for a decentralized venture capital fund, that's a pretty bold concept.
Yeah.
And it's definitely getting attention.
It makes you wonder what a venture capital fund even looks like when AI is calling the shots. And they're on Solana too, which is known for being super fast and able to handle lots of transactions.
Right, which is super important for a platform like this that's handling complex transactions and tons of data. Speed and scalability are key in the crypto world.
One of their goals is to basically revolutionize both on-chain and off-chain trading. They're aiming for this data-driven automated system that's more transparent and efficient.
That's a pretty ambitious goal, but it looks like they have a solid plan. The AI agents they're using can analyze market trends and execute trades really quickly and precisely. And because it's all built on this decentralized platform, there's that added layer of transparency and accountability.
Which is what DeFi is all about, right? Decentralized finance, making the system more open and accessible to everyone.
Exactly. It's about giving people more control over their own finances.
So in a way, you're watching a potential financial revolution unfold. And like any revolution, it's going to have its bumps along the way.
For sure. And it's really important to remember that crypto markets are just inherently volatile, especially with meme coins. Price predictions, no matter how fancy they sound, you always have to take them with a grain of salt.
We're not giving financial advice here, just exploring the possibilities.
Right. But it is interesting to see the price predictions for ELIZA OS in 2025. They range from $1.99 on the conservative side to $4.77 on the more optimistic side.
That's a pretty big range,
Yep.
which I guess just shows how unpredictable this whole world can be. But no matter where the price ends up, ELIZA OS has definitely shaken things up. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. But let's take a step back for a minute and think about the big picture. We've talked about these specific coins and the trends and the hype, but what does this all really mean? What does this AI crypto thing mean for the world?
That's where it gets really interesting, because we're not just talking about new ways to invest. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we interact with technology, with finance, with the world around us. It raises some really big questions.
Like what happens when AI starts making decisions that humans used to make? How do we make sure this technology is used ethically? That it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Those are questions that we as a society really need to be thinking about, because the future of AI crypto, the future of AI in general, it's not set in stone. It's something that we're creating right now with every decision we make.
And those decisions have consequences that will last for generations. So as you explore this AI crypto world, remember, you're not just navigating a new technology. You're navigating the very edge of innovation.
Approach it with curiosity, but also with caution. Don't let the excitement blind you to the risks. And always do your research before you invest in anything.
Okay, before we get too deep into the philosophy of it all, let's bring it back down to earth. What are some key takeaways for our listeners?
I think the main takeaway is that AI crypto is a rapidly evolving space with a ton of potential. It's a chance to be part of something new, to learn to explore, and maybe even make some money along the way.
But always be aware of the risks, do your research, and invest responsibly.
And maybe most importantly, stay curious, because the world of AI crypto is just getting started.
So we really went deep on AI crypto today, huh? We talked about all these exciting coins, DGD and AI-BT, Arts, Chain GPT, even community-driven projects like Catzilla. Feels like the whole landscape is changing so fast.
It really is. And we talked about what this fusion of AI and blockchain could mean for the future of finance, maybe even for society as a whole. It's a lot to process, but one thing's for sure, AI crypto is here to stay.
Yeah, it's definitely not going away. But before we wrap up, I want to throw something out there, something that's been on my mind this whole time, something we didn't really touch on in those articles.
Okay, I'm listening. Hit me with it.
We talk about how AI is changing the game in finance.
Yeah.
It's predicting markets, automating trading, even running entire investment funds. But where does the human element fit into all of this? Does AI make humans obsolete?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's like the ultimate man versus machine story, but this time it's playing out in the financial world.
Exactly. I mean, if algorithms could do a better job than experienced professionals, what does it even mean to be a trader or an investor in the future? Is there still room for human intuition and expertise?
That's a tough one. I think there will always be a need for humans to oversee things, to use critical thinking, especially when you're dealing with something as complex and unpredictable as financial markets. But yeah, the role of humans will definitely have to evolve as AI becomes more powerful.
So maybe it's not about humans versus AI. Maybe it's about humans and AI working together.
Right. It's about using the best of both worlds. AI can analyze all this data and spot patterns that humans might miss. But humans bring experience, judgment, and that ability to adapt when things don't go as planned.
And that brings up another important point. We need to make sure that AI is being used ethically in finance, that it's actually benefiting everyone, not just the people who control it.
Absolutely. As AI takes on more and more responsibility in making financial decisions, we have to make sure there's transparency, fairness, and accountability.
The future of AI crypto, and really the future of AI period, it's being shaped right now. It's not some predetermined path. We're creating this future with every choice we make.
So as you learn more about AI crypto and explore this market, remember, you're not just navigating some new technology, you're navigating the frontiers of what's possible.
Exactly. And as always, we encourage you to be curious, but be cautious too. Don't let all the hype distract you from the risks. Do your research and understand what you're getting into before you invest.
It's an exciting time to be following this space. There's so much potential, but we need to be responsible and make sure AI is used for good.
That's a great point. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, from those promising coins to the wider implications of AI crypto. It's a lot to think about, but hopefully it's giving you a better understanding of what's happening at the cutting edge of this space.
It's a rapidly evolving landscape, so stay informed, stay engaged, and keep asking those tough questions.
We want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI crypto. We hope you've learned something new and maybe even discovered some investment opportunities you hadn't considered before. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of AI crypto, staying informed is crucial. So keep learning, keep exploring, and until next time, happy investing.